Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone is doing well. And I got a little video I'm going to play while people come into the studio. And I do hope some people from the left come by and visit me tonight. And if you do, even after the live stream, and you don't want to see this little intro video, just speed the video up some and listen to what we have to say. We're going to have to start talking some point or another. But anyway, I hope you all are doing well and had a great evening so far. And I hope this video plays good for you. So let me cut my mic off and let it roll.
Trump has left the building.
Over. We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency. What started all reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign. Securing the border to foreign policy.
He now has a record as president that's pretty damn impressive.
Breaking news out of Palm Beach,
The FBI
Florida.
has executed an unprecedented search warrant at President Donald Trump's
against a
former president has both sides of the political aisle up
is
in
a
arms.
dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
For 7 years, they hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power to preempt political decisions.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. America will always rise to every challenge and overcome every danger.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger when challenged. These types of things, I think, give him strength.
When I'm reelected, I will totally obliterate the deep state.
As long as we have pride in our beliefs, courage in our convictions, and faith in our God, then we will not fail.
We will not fail. So let me know if that came through clear enough for you all. I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for stopping in tonight. And wow, KNS Cleanup, is that you at the very top? I believe it is. Yeah, how you doing? Melinda, how you? Darla, Doc, Mac. Nice to see you, Mac. William, I know, let's see. Yeah, hit the like button. Ha ha ha. Debbie, Andrew, Marie, Robin, Colette. Yeah, well, the fires are crazy, Wanda. They're not getting crazy. They are crazy. They're crazy as it can be. And they were all warned about it. Your power went out, Mac. Whoa. Hi, Colette. Angela. Mac's got back up. Melinda hit the like button too. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you all. Everybody said 5x5. That's good. That's good. Well, it's nice to see you all tonight. And we got to go over a bunch of stuff Mr. T went over. And I got some bulletins from overseas. Did you know North Korea just tested a hypersonic missile? Supposed to be very advanced, you know. Hi, Tammy. But they've got it now. They've got it. And that's not good news, is it? Not good news at all. Here's one thing they put up on the, speaking of the California wildfires, here's one thing they put up. They have lost a home to California wildfires. Have you all heard that? I think there's an article on that. We'll go over it. But Flannel Cheese, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, the people are going to be very curious about this thing. James Wood's home burned down. I've got a clip of him on CNN. It's awful. And you see what some of these radical libs are made of. It's nauseating how they mock him, and the lack of decency is astounding, just astounding. Here's one thing that this it's like a castle up there. Flames burn dangerously close to where? The Getty Villa. I'm sure that's a very nice villa, but it doesn't say that it burned it down. Hi, Sissy. Yeah, Colette. Yeah, they're very suspicious. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? Very suspicious. But I was telling you all about a clip I had about an older guy wanting to look like a young broccoli-haired liberal, and how they keep this drumbeat up in their own private. Look at that face. That's the guy I said he looked like his face got hit with a flat shovel. A liberal with a smushed in face, trying to be hip and cool and liberal, drinking his tofu coffee or whatever the hell they drink. But here he is babbling about the 14th Amendment. You know, we all know Trump sailed through the congressional thing like nothing. But Occupy Democrats and some of these lawyer nitwits that get on there and then talking feds with Harry Litman and all these jerks. We're doing this undercurrent story that the 14th Amendment was going to block Trump from being put in office. And I mean, we're talking millions of people who are thinking this way. But anyway, this is a clip I told you about. I'll go ahead and play it.
Trump coming out January 19th, one day before the inauguration. Why would you need to do that the day before the 47th president? He wants those people here in town for when it becomes even more evident than it already is that under 14th Amendment Section 3, he cannot be sworn in. He's done. He knows it. He's known it for a while.
What the hell is he talking about? This was about 2 days before the 2 days before the certification. But I know it's a nut job, Melinda, but there's a lot of them talking that stuff. But anyway, I'll play a couple of fun clips for you. Here's what's this guy's name? Is this Hakeem Jeffries? Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries, and he. Let me tell you, he's going to tell everybody how strong they're going to stand.
The American dream possible. We will fight hard for the freedom to vote. The American dream possible. We will fight hard for the freedom to vote.
He'll fart hard. But I had to play that twice. Now here's some liberal logic for you here. Listen to this guy talking to this reporter. I mean, it just shows you how twisted their brains are. This is a twisted brain trying to verbalize what's inside their head.
Sorry, I cannot support an insurrectionist. I just can't. And I would really love to see Democrats and independents do an insurrection on Donald Trump.
All right.
Did you all catch that? Let me play that again for you.
Sorry, I cannot support an insurrectionist. I just can't. And I would really love to see Democrats and independents do an insurrection on Donald Trump.
All right.
He's got some strong principles, doesn't he? Strong principles. I had this one the other day, but I couldn't do a broadcast, so I just kept it in my little library. Let me see here.
High fly ball to left and goodbye.
I thought that was cute. I'm just playing little cute videos that I got that I was going to play the other night, and I don't want to miss them.
Supporters of Donald Trump stormed this building, trying to prevent the election victory of Joe Biden from being certified on the anniversary. Oh my God. Oh God.
I like that one. I like that one. Here you go. Joe, everybody's talking about how sharp he was. Sharp as a tack, right? He's got this young guy standing here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right.
That's got to be creepy as hell. I'm sure you all have seen this one. Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau sitting like a girl. You know, I sits like a girl. I don't know. I don't know where we'll ever get a more memeable president than Donald Trump. But anyway, I just having a little fun with those short videos. But I know we got serious stuff going on with these fires. And it's not his birthday, Andrew. Hi, I'm Miss Motorsports. How you doing? Okay, so anyway, we'll go through these news stories. There is a hubbub in North Carolina. Have you all heard of the hubbub in North Carolina about the judgeship that is, let me see if I can find the video. I took a screenshot of the title of the video so you can watch it yourself. And I also got a clip from the video where the Democrats are trying to ram through this judge. And the courts is allowing, I guess, for an audit of the vote. And you all have heard the name Mark Elias, right? He's supposed to be, that's the one Steve Bannon was talking about. Supposed to be a heavy hitter, and you don't use Mark Elias unless you're really going to go to the mattresses and all this kind of stuff. I'm trying to, if I can't find the video title, it's not a big deal, but it'll tell the name of the judge, Kimberly something. I don't see it, but anyway, they're mad, and earlier in the video they said we counted the votes 3 times, and they lost 3 times. You know what that means when they just recount the same phony crap and don't let anybody look at signatures, don't let anybody look at dates, and say, well, see, you lost 3 times. So it turns out there's about 60,000 votes that are in question as to the veracity of the votes. And the courts are apparently going to make them do a audit of those votes. And this Mark Elias guy is really mad about it. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, 60,000 votes the courts are concerned about, and this so-called winner judge, and we're talking about a Supreme Court, North Carolina Supreme Court justice, won by 760 or 80, somewhere around there. Well, there's a reason they're worried about that 60,000 votes. And I think the real concern is if they look at the 60,000 votes, it might affect a lot more shenanigans in North Carolina than just this Supreme Court race. But anyway, this is the tail end of the video. I can't find Mark Elias that Steve Bannon was talking about. You see on his shelf in the back there, beware of attack a Democrat, but he's castigating Republicans in a very general sense. Usual talking points. And it's a window into how they think and their game plan, their strategy. But anyway, this judge only won by 780 votes. The courts are refusing certification, put a freeze on certifying this judge, and they want to take a look at 60,000 votes. So, according to this Mark Elias guy, the courts are anti-democratic.
When the shoe was on the other foot and Donald Trump was the president and Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, much closer to the election, they went ahead and confirmed to justice. This is about power for them. They understand in a way that, honestly, I wish more Democrats and people on the left understood the importance of courts and judges and controlling. And if they can get 6-2, they want 6-2. If they can get 5-2, they want 5-2. If they can get 6-1, they want 6-1. If they can get 7-0, Page, they'll fight for 7-0. I mean, they're about shifting this window as far as they possibly can in their direction. And there is no Republican Party that has been more ruthless about this than the Republican Party of North Carolina. You look at their gerrymanders of their state legislature, look at their gerrymanders of their congressional maps, look at what they've done in some of these anti-democracy laws they've passed. Right now, they're undermining, Page, the State Board of Elections. I mean, these people are shameless. They're just in it for the power. But my question to you, Paige, is where the hell is the media? Why is it that Democracy Docket covers this and a handful of other outlets, and I give them credit too, but why isn't this dominating the news?
Mark, it's a good question because it should be all over the news. You have the literal Republican Party of North Carolina very blatantly trying to steal an election that they have lost over and over again. And again, like you said, it's all about power for them. Nothing substantially changes in North Carolina. Whether or not they win the seat, Republicans still control the court. Now, Justice Allison Riggs has recused herself from this case. She won't be involved with it while it's before the North Carolina Supreme Court. The other Democrat on the court, Justice Anita Earls, dissented from blocking certification. She said that the standards had not been met. Former North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper also issued a statement. He said that this should not be about party politics. This should be about votes counting. And former Attorney General Eric Holder also issued a statement calling the situation in North Carolina alarming.
Yeah, so look at
former Attorney General Eric Holder doesn't like what's going on. That's a good thing in my book.
Look at this, like, split screen here. Okay. On the one hand, you have Donald Trump being certified the winner of the Electoral College in a proceeding overseen by Kamala Harris. Right? Kamala Harris is literally counting up the votes, tallying them as required by law, calling out by name Donald Trump as the winner. You have Democrats in the audience. They're not booing. They're not protesting. They're not doing nonsense. They are participating in the peaceful transfer of power. And what's the split screen? Like the next day, the very next day, you've got Republicans in North Carolina doing this. And, and it just shows that there is no comparison between the Democrats and the Republicans on these issues of democracy. Democrats are playing by the rules as they are written, and the Republicans are playing by their own rules. And that is not, by the way, a criticism of...
I have to laugh. I had to interrupt the video to laugh at that statement. The mighty Mark Elias.
Of Democrats. Like, it is, we cannot have a lawless situation in which people ignore the results of elections and certification. So I'm not criticizing Democrats. What Republicans for what they are here, which is just an anti-democratic mob. The North Carolina Republican Party is every bit as lawless as the mob that stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021. They're just doing it in suits, and they're doing it with legal briefs. But that's what this is. This is just an effort to undo the results of a free and fair election. And so we will be covering this at Democracy.net. We are not going to give up on this. We're going to cover this day in, day out, and we're going to make sure that Republicans don't get to do this in the dark of night.
Mark, like you said, Democracy Docket will continue to cover this case. We'll keep y'all updated, but tell us what happens next.
Yeah, so the big thing everyone needs to watch right now is the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. What the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals does here will be critical, because I don't have a lot of confidence that the state Supreme Court of North Carolina will sort of, when it considers this, it did a temporary stay, a temporary block, but then it's going to consider the case. I don't have a lot of confidence there. I do think there is a chance that the federal court says, no, this case belongs back in federal court, and essentially nullifies what the state courts are doing, and it goes back into federal court. And if that happens, then I think Allison Riggs gets sworn in, and this whole thing is over. But again, as we have been saying, please make sure you are subscribed to Democracy.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about your... Get out of here. Nobody cares about your democracy.com, whatever your crap is. But anyway, they're on the ropes when all he's doing is calling the Republicans in the state a mob, and that they're anti-democratic, and he gives no legal arguments, no description of what's going on other than a bunch of garbage. Hi, Colette. Hi, Miss Sue. Ann, how you doing? Diane, how you doing? So he's hoping for it to get kicked over to another court. But to be honest with you, this is the first time I've seen pictures of Mark Elias. I've read some of the stuff he talks about. This is the first time I've ever seen him babbling. And if that's the way he presents his stuff in court, just a generalized, thrown out slurs. But anyway, here's the video that I was telling you about Nancy being on a walker. Now, I'm not making fun of her. She's 84 years old. But it's the first time I've ever seen her with a walker. And it's after she put out a really weird video where her face was either swollen or Botoxed up. And she was like marble mouthed. And then you see her over here in the corner with a walker.
Action.
Now, granted, she did have her hip worked on over there. Where was she? Where did she bust her hip at? And so, no doubt, she's going to have some assistance. But when somebody at that age injures their hip, I'm sure you all have heard the statistics that it accelerates other issues like dementia and speech problems and all kinds of stuff. I don't want anything like that bad happen to anybody. But we're watching, what do they call it? Turning the page, an end of an era. I mean, this woman's been in power since the 1960s. And it's like Trump said, before I ever started doing videos, Trump was talking about his opponents. He was like, I don't know why they're hanging on and they're so desperate to disrupt. And the way he said it kind of took me back. He said, because at some point they're all going to be dead anyway. And I was like, what? But he's right. I mean, he's like, you're at that advanced an age and hanging on. He's talking about Feinstein and, others that were really being obstructionists and causing problems. He's like, I don't get it, where they're coming from. Yeah, she was in Germany, Melinda. Hi, Lone Wolf. Let's see. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Miss Bender Sue's here. Lori's here. Let's see. Mark, how you doing? Okay. Yeah, she was there during JFK term. She's the one that shoved through Roe v. Wade. This one here, of course, we all know about this, but I thought it was odd when Trump gave his press conference. Sometimes you could hear the questions really clearly, and other times you couldn't even hear the question at all, or you had to put your headphones on and really listen. Did you all catch it when the reporter asked Trump, do you think, and I'm talking about this in the response to this picture on the screen, metamorphosis. Trump praises Meta's decision to end their fact-checking program and lift speech restrictions. But I haven't seen anybody discuss his answer to the question that was asked, which was, do you think Mark Zuckerberg's actions are in response to the threats you made to him? Or he may have said warnings, but it wasn't kind or easy. But that question was muted, and Trump answered with one word. Do you remember what it was? He said, probably. and then he went on to taking other questions. So, yeah, probably. I had the video of Sonny Houston running her mouth about how bad J6 was compared to the Holocaust. I erased it. I don't want to play it again. It's obnoxious. But I'm sure you all have seen it in other videos. It's gotten enough play. Sonny Houston of The View saying J6 was as bad as the Holocaust. But I was going to play that video and then put this one up. Juanita Broderick put it out. Can you imagine that? She says, can you imagine that? The View co-host Sonny Houston's surgeon husband, Emmanuel, accused of insurance fraud in a bombshell lawsuit. And in other articles, they brought up an interesting term. Even though it's civil, it's a RICO case. A RICO case. And racketeering influence and corrupt organizations. Okay? And what have we seen happen with these civil lawsuits? They often turn into criminal charges. Usually it's the other way around, where somebody gets convicted of a crime and then the victims sue afterwards. Or if they get tried for a crime like OJ. But here lately, ever since like with Epstein, now we're looking at P. Diddy. The Saturday Night Live crowd is being sued civilly about underage disgusting acts. And now we see this character here. Insurance fraud. So it's going to be pretty interesting to watch this. I'm going to be very interested. Here's something else. I don't want to go Tanko. He puts up stuff like this out of the blue sometimes. Blackstone to acquire Ancestry.com for $4.7 billion, giving investment firm total ownership of all DNA from every person who's ever used the service. We were warned, what's in your DNA? And he put a meme of Yoda there, said, begun the Clone Wars has. So, yeah, they're going to have a lot of people's physical roadmap or diagram. Who knows what they'll do with it. So anyway, with these fires, I believe I have that post by James Wood and those nasty posts, Keith Olbermann, Liam Neeson were mocking James Wood. And, we're talking, last I heard was 35,000 people had evacuated, and it's ongoing. I mean, it's a historic. Here is Libs of TikTok put this up. Los Angeles refused to fill the water reservoirs, and now there's no water in the fire hydrants to fight the fires. People are fleeing for their lives while watching their homes and businesses burn to the ground. This is incompetence at the highest level. We know from watching the 17 posts that many of these things were arson. We were given links to people who were arrested, tried, and convicted. Dozens and dozens and dozens of people, their names, the actual court records of people riding around with gasoline in the back of their vehicles, charged with arson. I tell you what, if there's an investigation and it's tied to that, want to talk about RICO. We've got some kind of coordinated arson scheme going on. At the very least, we've got incompetence. And if it's willful with the level of damage that's going on, 2 people have died. 2 people have lost their lives so far in this thing. Here's a picture of Los Angeles. And who knows what it looks like now. A wealthy section. Like I said, the actor James Wood's home was there. Here we have, I'll show you how it up. Today's left. Liam Neeson. And he put a laughy face. He put a laughy face in a screenshot of James Wood's Twitter. Liam Neeson. The hell with Liam Neeson and the horse he rode in on. I don't be associated with anything Liam Neeson's got to do. He's going to go the way of Robert De Niro, Carl Reiner, all these other loopy, freaked out creeps that have shown their true colors. Okay? Here we have another thing from Belcamino said, I'm not a fan of James Woods at all, but being happy his house burned down isn't the answer. Be better. And that is a response to Karen Piper saying, James Woods' house is burning down. It's karma calling. Well, the real creep in the bunch, Keith Olbermann. Of course, he's got a picture from probably 1978 of himself. That's not at all what he looks like. This is the attitude that lost the election. They will not compromise. They will not convert. What is he talking about? Convert. They will not be human. They must be defeated. And any chance to bruise or batter them psychologically must be exploited. That Keith Olbermann has always been an obnoxious and sick individual, and he's just proving it even more. So where's the one tweet I had where James Wood said they canceled people's insurance in his neighborhood? I think about 4 weeks before the fire. Let me see if I can find that. Well, if I come across it, I'll put it up. But that's what James Wood said. And let me see if I have the video of him being interviewed. I'm not sure which, let's see. I might have that. Let's see. This might be it. Yeah, this is it. This is hard to. This is James Wood going on CNN, and they think it not this reporter, but the characters I just read think this is funny what he's going through.
I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest there. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. And she came out. I'm sorry. Just, one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone. But she came out with her little Yeti piggy bank for us to rebuild our house.
Oh my gosh. James Woods, we all hope that you will be able to rebuild your house, maybe starting with that little Yeti piggy bank. And we're just glad that you're okay and your wife is okay.
I'm sorry,
and have your lives. This is real and it's raw.
I thought
and
I would be stronger than this.
You know what? Strength is not measured by whether, you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going there. We're going to continue to talk, and we wish you the very best.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah.
They found him. He's in the hospital.
He's okay. Yeah.
I just worry. If anybody knows where Robert Trinkteller is, call me.
Yeah.
Let me know. All right.
That's an important message. And also, there's this app that's really
thousands of people that have suffered a tragedy like that. And I do hope Trump comes in with shock and awe. I hope he does. He's given warning after warning after warning about those California wildfires. The story going around now is about this fire marshal or whatever she is. There's a picture of her. I'm super inspired. And Wokeness had Los Angeles recently appointed his very first female Alphabet Plus fire chief. Boy, that's real helpful, isn't it? With the goal of recruiting more women and gay firefighters. There's a video going around of her having a parade with pride flags, using the fire trucks and everybody in their white shirts and black pants and the fire caps, and going down the street waving at little kids and stuff. A gay firefighter parade, but what are you going to do? You don't have any damn waters. Bo Drillard said an LA burns to the ground shortly afterwards. Edit. Apparently the reservoirs for the fire hydrants were not filled, so no water is coming from the hydrants. The Alphabet folks, they focused on hiring instead of we'll just have to urinate on the fire. So I don't mean to laugh, but that's what they're focusing on. And I was going to play that video of the firefighter parade. It's just the taxpayers' money being urinated away, and it's like 2-minute sickening display, and I just don't feel like playing it. But I do have, let's see, a couple of videos of what is actually going on. People on the streets were filming and posting about, what do you do if your house. I mean, there's businesses there, there's infrastructure, there's power lines that are destroyed. Here, let me play this one for you. Cut my mic off for play right.
Oh, that's where I go to get my snow and the chickens. Oh, and I hope Chelada. Oh no, the seafood restaurant. Oh, and Chelada. And Wiley's. Ah!
No, dude, this is close to Big Rock.
Oh! This is. Oh, dude.
That's horrible.
Oh.
Wait, dude, this is super close to Big Rock. Fucking right here.
And Wiley's. Chelada. Oh, please.
So, well, if I was investigating it, I would be checking out this business of the insurance cancellations. I mean, was it done in specific areas? Who was it done? What's the makeup of the neighborhoods that had their insurance? What about the houses that didn't get their insurance canceled and got burned down? I said a lot of times these things happen for insurance purposes, not the whole thing, but people will. So these are tweets from 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. If you all remember, Governor Jerry Brown, Governor Moonbeam, he ran for president. He was around during the Carter era. He was governor. Trump went down to California and told them, we've given you billions to clean up these forests. You better get on it. Governor Brown resigned within days after that visit from Trump. And we ended up with gruesome Newsom. But anyway, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, has done a terrible job of forest management. This was back in 2019. I told him from the first day we met, he must clean his forest floors, regardless of what his bosses, the environmentalists, demand of him. Must also do burns and cut fire stoppers. Every year, as the fires rage and California burns, it's the same thing. And then he comes to the federal government for dollar bill help. No more. Get your act together, Governor. You don't see close to the level of burn in other states, but our teams are working well together in putting these massive and many fires out. Great firefighters also open up the ridiculously closed water lanes coming down from the north. Don't pour it into the Pacific Ocean. Should be done immediately. California desperately needs water, and you can have it now. That's got to be shown and shown and shown. Here's Trump on a very famous and very with Joe Rogan.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land. Water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that are fallen.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah, there he warned everybody. He warned everybody when he was on Joe Rogan's show. And, okay, Dory, well, you stay safe, honey. And share that little clip of Trump and his tweets. You know, what would it be, about a 4-minute clip, 3-minute clip of the tweets from 2019 and him being on Joe Rogan? It's right there for everybody to see. The warnings were given. And, if this is proven to be malicious or intentional, okay, there's going to be some big, big problems. And here's creepy Anderson's pooper scooper. Okay? You know, if they had water, it wouldn't be like this, because if you can have a little dweeb, you can have firefighters there. But what good is it with no water?
Anderson, tell us about this scene behind you.
Yeah, we're at the corner of Harriet and Glenn, and I got to tell you, we've been here for about 40 minutes. This whole area is just engulfed in flames. This house really just kind of exploded in flames that went up to this.
All right.
Which with these winds, even though, Brianna, the winds have died down, the wind is just taking these embers from the tree. They're all over the block, and they are moving to other houses, and you see new fires being created from these. I mean, just look, all these houses are gone here. There's a fire crew here. I was talking to the captain earlier. They ran out of water here on this street about 30 minutes ago. They went, they hooked up the hydrants, they turned them on, the water ran out. So now they're just moving on to another area. What they did when they don't have water is they try to create defensive perimeters around houses that they think they can save. And those houses are houses that don't have a lot of bushes, hedges, plantings in front of them or around them. Or if it does, they try to rip. They've spent like the last hour just trying to clear debris from houses to try to maybe save it. But it's a matter of luck or misfortune where these embers land, where the flames hop. This area over here, I want to show you. I mean, this house is completely gone. We've watched this entire house burn down. The house next door, the car that you see over here, we watched that. The flames jumped from the house onto the car. There was a small explosion as the gas canister blew. But look, Brianna. See, there's two houses on fire. The third house down now, the roof has caught fire. The fire captain was telling me they watch for the attics. Once you see smoke billowing out of the attic, and the attic is on fire, that house may be a lost cause.
Yeah, they've got trillions of gallons of water available to them, but they're intentionally diverting it. And the people in that on their faucets that are annoying and useless. Oh, that's James Wood again. They have no choice but to stand there and watch their properties burn to the ground. They have no options. That's right, Todd. Yeah, how you doing? They sent firefighters to you, Crizzle. Hi, Diane. How are you? Tammy, let's see. Roland, nice to see you. Yeah, they sent firefighters and equipment to Ukraine. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, this is the one. Los Angeles running out of water as 30,000 from Malibu to Celebrity Enclave Calabasas were ordered to evacuate. Wildfires, ground firefighting aircrafts as thousands of homes are scorched. Rick Sachs said, looks like people are panicking and end up blocking roads, wrecking cars stacked up and abandoned. Doesn't look good for those who live there. I'm wondering if insurance companies will treat them better than those who got flooded out and lost their homes in the East U.S., Appalachia. Talking about North Carolina. And James Wood said, actually, one of the major insurance companies canceled all the policies in our neighborhood about 4 months ago. Then his house burned down. This is interesting truth that Trump put out right here. It's a video. I'll play it, but the print is hard to read. This was shared, but it's also amazing and deserves even more attention. Pennsylvania Amish community completed the construction of 12 tiny homes. I'll let the guy go ahead and Trump reposted this on his truth page. May have done it on Twitter too. I don't know.
Remember those Amish groups in Pennsylvania that voted? Look what else they're doing. Boone, North Carolina officials have confirmed that 62 members of the Pennsylvania Amish community have completed the construction of 12 tiny homes in western North Carolina in under 48 hours. The total cost of the project was over $300,000, all of which was donated by the Amish community. Here's the pictures. Now, several of these Amish groups were told to stand down and stop building these tiny homes by our own government. And they said no. We were used to helping one another in the Amish, and we are going to take care of these people that were abandoned by the government. And they stepped in and they kept right on doing what they're doing, and I respect them and love them for that.
Well, it might be Trump's way of saying to stand up to these local governments that are putting people in situations like this. I don't know, but he posted it, and how exciting that must be to have one of your videos posted by Donald Trump. And so we know we got some real stinkers in the Hollywood, okay? And we're going to drive him out. I mean, Liam Neeson, he's just another one to put on the list because all the stuff that's going on, they don't pay attention to. The stars don't pay attention to stuff like this. All right? All the people that have lost their lives in Ukraine, they could give a damn about. All the people who lost their homes in North Carolina, they could give a damn about because it's a red state. They don't give a damn about the people who lost their houses in California because of a smelt. These people are sick and deranged. When you have this alphabet firefighter spending all the time and energy on pushing an agenda that has to do with their bedroom preferences, and they're too stupid to make sure they have enough water in case of an emergency, these people are sick and demented. Here's the DP, new hypersonic ballistic missile, the speed of which is 12 times higher than the speed of sound. According to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, who observed a test, the missile can penetrate any missile defense system in the world and is needed to deter Pyongyang's regional adversaries. People better wake the hell up about what kind of threats we're facing in this world. Here's somebody put this up. Kind of got it in a nutshell. Easy to remember. D. The military won't lift a finger to stop the invasion of the country by millions of foreigners. The police won't do anything to protect you from criminals and will arrest you if you protect yourself. The firefighters can't even put out fires. The only reason to pay taxes is the government will unalive you if you don't. This is liberal democracy. You have to live in a hellhole in fear. Everybody's been reading this one from Trump. And I wonder, what is he going to do right when he takes office with this incompetent, evil governor? It's malicious. Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt, giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, not firefighting planes. A true disaster. I'd like to see him just remove his ass from office. I mean, national emergency. Speaking of people getting removed from office, this is what's flying around over in Russia. Justin Trudeau, they even translated it into Ruski so the people in Russia can read it. There isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would become part of the United States. Workers and communities in both our countries benefit from being each other's biggest trading and security partner. Well, the other thing the Ruskies put up for people to read was a response from Elon Musk. He said, girl, you're not the governor of Canada anymore, so it doesn't matter what you say. You're not the governor of Canada anymore, so it doesn't matter what you say. Now, I forgot this guy's name. He's a representative in Canada, an MP, a member of parliament, I think. I'm not sure. Where is he? But here's his wiseacre response. This Polivier is going to take over. He has really made some good statements. But listen to this clown's analysis of Trump's discussions about Canada. I'll put it that way.
Trump once again talked about the idea of now a merger between Canada and the United States. You would dismiss that as a joke. At what point do you say that that's no longer a laughing matter and something that should be taken with quite a bit of seriousness?
Well, I know we have the greatest country in the world. We have the greatest province anywhere. Any sub-sovereign nation is Ontario and the rest of the provinces as well.
Do you think he's joking?
We would, you know something, to the president, I'll make him a counteroffer. How about if we buy Alaska and we'll throw in Minnesota and Minneapolis at the same time? So, it's not realistic. I know he likes making these comments and he likes joking around. I take that seriously. He may be joking, but under my watch, that will never, ever happen.
Trump don't joke, okay? And you want to buy Alaska, Minneapolis, and Minnesota, what are you going to buy it with? A dump truck full of snowballs? Trump said exactly what I said over a month ago. We don't need your milk. We don't need your trees. Remember when I said that, folks? Trump said the same thing at his press conference in a speech. Almost exactly the same thing I said. We don't need their crap. Yeah, we'll trade with you, but you can't keep up unless the American people don't get up every day to go to work to subsidize another country. Not anymore. Even though we've been doing it, it's going to come to a stop. Going to come to a stop. Here's something else Trump posted today. Put this on his Truth Social. Never forget this video still exists.
We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do. We, the people, are free. And I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
You got that right, Ronnie. So I tell you what, Trump put up another video. And this is the way he posted it, along with this tweet from another person. This guy, Jeffrey Sachs, goes into more detail about how Barack Obama commanded the CIA to overthrow the Syrian government, and American media covered for him. He says reporters are lying through their teeth when they blame Russia. It was Obama 4 years before Russia intervened. Let me make this bigger. He says what Obama did is not democracy. I'll go ahead and play it instead of reading those quotes. You can hear it out of his own mouth. What's his name again? Jeffrey Sachs. Here he is. He's telling it like it is. I gotta get where I can make sure I hit my button. There we go. Let me go ahead and cut my mic off. I'll play it for you.
The war in Syria, and you may actually hear through their teeth or ignorant beyond imagining that, oh, the war in Syria, yes, Russia intervened in Syria. Well, do you know that that Obama tasked the CIA to overthrow the Syrian government starting 4 years before Russia intervened? What kind of nonsense is that? And how many times did the New York Times report on Operation Timber Sycamore, which was the presidential order to the CIA to overthrow Bashar al-Assad? 3 times in 10 years. This is not democracy. This is a game. And it's a game of narrative. Why did the U.S. invade Iraq in 2003? Well, first of all, it was completely phony pretenses. It wasn't, oh, we were so wrong, they didn't have weapons of mass destruction. They actually did focus groups in the fall of 2002 to find out what would sell that war to the American people. Abe Schultzke, if you want to know the name of the PR genius. They did focus groups on the war. They wanted the war all the time. They had to figure out how to sell the war to the American people, how to scare the shit out of the American people. It was a phony war. Where did that war come from? You know what? It's quite surprising. That war came from Netanyahu, actually. You know that? It's weird. And the way it is the theory that the only way we're going to get rid of Hamas and Hezbollah is by toppling the governments that support them. That's Iraq, Syria, and Iran. And the guy's nothing if not obsessive. And he's still trying to get us to fight Iran this day, this week. He's a deep, dark son of a bitch, sorry to tell you. Because he's gotten us into endless wars, and because of the power of all of this in the U.S. politics, he's gotten his way. But that war was totally phony. So what is this democracy versus dictatorship? Come on. These are not even sensible terms.
Trump posted that for a reason. This was on Trump's Truth Social. If the CIA is overthrowing governments overseas, then they 100% do it here in America. That's what the last thing that person typed and then posted this video. They're destroying our country. They're destroying the morality, the moral foundations of the country. They're destroying our morale, our morals and our morale. Okay, people are under constant threat. Like Judge Gorsuch said, everybody's a felon. They don't even know it. They're passing such convoluted crap. And that's how you overthrow a government. Let me lighten up the mood a little bit. Have you seen this yet? Donald Trump knows where it's at.
I mean, I see this. It's so incredible. Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's right. Should be called the Gulf of America. And Steenberg down there in Mexico saying, oh, we should get our land back, what we used to own in America. Listen, you want to get cute, okay? We'll start sending surveyors your way, okay? And what are you going to do? They're going to see who's the boss and who's applesauce real soon. Hi, Janice. How you doing? Hi, Angel. Nice to see you. Yeah, that's what we're all worried about. The stories about the joint exercises between Canadian military and the Chicoms, right? They had how many? 20,000 troops up there to do military exercises. Word on the street was that the generals in the Canadian military forced that to stop. The actual exercises, but that doesn't mean they cleared them out. Speaking of the morality of the country, Daily Mail put this out. Lesbian couple who beat their 5-year-old son with a hammer, duct taped his eyes shut, and then kicked him in the groin in a brutal attack that caused him to suffer 2 strokes, are jailed for 20 years. There they are. How quickly our society has gone into some Kafka-esque nightmare, okay? Ever since Justice Kennedy was the swing vote that said, yeah, gay people can marry. We've already seen the 2 that got sentenced to 100 years for taking their kids around and prostituting them out. Here in London, BBC News reported this. BBC News, the hard R word, ape, R with an ape behind it, reported every hour in London. They had a vote in Parliament about, I got to be careful what I say. You all know what I'm talking about. The gangs they had, okay? I call it cultivating is another word for GROOM, right? And what they were doing to children. They voted it down. A bill that would have done something about it. I'm looking for the article. Let me go through some of these things that I have. Here we go. This might be it. Or this might be Lauren Boebert. Let me see. Is this Lauren Boebert? Votes overwhelming against opening up an investigation into child and then R with an ape behind it. Gangs. Look at this. The tally, 364 to 111. You know, in a lot of Muslim countries, Muslims, you ever heard of them? 9, 10, 12-year-olds is perfectly fine. But it ain't fine here, okay, in this country. And the UK better wake the hell up. And there's no way that this is what the people of that nation want. How do these people get in office and stay in office? Diamond and Silk put this up. Wow. See what U.S. District Judge Eileen Cannon did to block Jack Smith. Just in, Judge Cannon smacks down Jack Smith, blocks release of anti-Trump report. Remember Trump said he was back in The Hague? I think that was a little hint to Jack. You better get the hell out of this country. Apparently, he's still around, but he probably won't be by the time Trump gets inaugurated. Here, the Babylon Bee said, the guy who said Facebook was not suppressing free speech announces Facebook will stop suppressing free speech. That was all done with the FB and then I and then C.I.A. Muskerberg Media copies X approach to free speech as lame duck feds relaunch a misinformation unit. They closed that thing up, but now they got it reopened. But now Zuckerberg embraces Trump. Help fight social media censorship in China, Europe, and Latin America, which he said Biden administration made harder. Yeah, he's trying to blame it on the Biden administration. We'll see how that works out. We'll see if Zuckerbucks redeems himself or lowers whatever his punishment's going to be. Trump put this up today also. Fox News prosecutes sanctuary officials who defy Trump's deportation orders. There was a guy who was saying what needs to be done is a sweeping deportation operation in D.C. itself, D.C. proper. I'll play you a video clip what Geraldo Rivera thinks of this. But Trump plans to move fast with deporting illegal aliens. If liberal mayors try to stop him, they should be prosecuted. History is on the president's side. So, Geraldo Rivera, where are you, you creep? He's another one. He's trying to look young and a broccoli head. He doesn't have the broccoli head look, but he's just an old beat-up liberal. And, of course, he's on MSNBC now because he got PO'd and left Fox. But we didn't want to watch him there. I don't want to watch him anywhere, really. But what is it with these old bastards? Always wanting to hit somebody or think.
If you had a 30-seat majority in the House, that'd be different, and you kind of have to price it out based on what you have. I want to show you this reporting that the Trump transition team wants to do what they call a, quote, D.C. area showcase immigration raid in the first days, that this would be a, quote, high-profile raid targeting undocumented immigrants in the initial days. The raid could target immigrants allegedly living in the U.S. illegally at a workplace in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm curious what you think of this because I've covered this. I've had Stephen Miller on the show. I think we can stipulate that there are debates about immigration in this country, and undocumented immigration has been rising. And there's a question about how to deal with that in a holistic way that is humane but protects national security. I'm curious what you think of something that's already being billed as a kind of, quote, show or advertisement. Isn't this issue more important than making a D.C. show for the D.C., I guess, media market?
You know, I'm an old man now. I've been a boxer all my life. I've given it up because of my frailty. But I would come back to punch Stephen Miller in the nose because he is the most hideous in terms of his policy. I don't know the guy personally, but in terms of his policy, he is absolutely draconian. He's the definition of it. He doesn't want to resolve the issue. He wants to scapegoat certain people that will, in his mind, it will resound favorably to President Trump. I think that this is a horrible idea. A showcase of raids in the D.C. area. You know what that's going to do? It will heighten uncertainty in the immigration among immigrants. It will infuriate the Democrats. It will motivate that base. It will absolutely garner him no additional points. He needs now to use this bluster and use this moment and use these first 100 days to make deals. He prides himself on being a deal maker. He did in his other life when I knew him better.
Yeah.
Now make a deal.
I got
Then make
something
a
else
deal.
to
Let's
show
go.
you.
Okay.
And I'll say I appreciate I know your passion on the issue. We on the beat oppose all types of violence.
Yeah, right. No damn deals. No damn deals. Geraldo. And they better get the message and start packing up and getting their rear ends out before Trump gets in. Tom Homan isn't going to cut any deals. Trump is going to put people in place where he can focus on the great big picture and competent people to enforce the law around this country. And to hear Geraldo say what it's going to do to the immigrant community, F the immigrant community. I don't like using that language, but they need to get the heck out of here if they're here unlawfully, especially. I don't care if it's petty crimes or whatever it is. You watch some documentaries on what they do to you in Australia if you break the law and you're there on a visa. What they do to you in Canada if you're on a visa and you break the law. What they do to you in Japan, the Philippines, all over the world. They put your ass on a plane and you're gone. And that's if you're there legally, screwing around, breaking the law. Much less whatever kind of system that whoever is really running the government, because it ain't Joe Biden, whatever kind of system they have in there now where they can falsely claim that these people are legal. Here, let's see what this is. The Danish Foreign Ministry believes that Greenland could become independent, but not a U.S. state. Reuters reports. Oh, really? You know how many people live in Greenland? Don't goggle it, but just guess how many people live in Greenland. That Greenland has ambitions. So, although it's unlikely to have ambition to become a federal state in the United States, what are they going to do? Just sit there and freeze their rear ends off? Not tied to any country? The Danish foreign minister said. At the same time, he does not think that there's a foreign policy crisis in the region. You don't? Trump's telling you there is. We need it for national security, just like the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal was built for our military. We are open to dialogue with the Americans about how we can cooperate even more closely than we do now to ensure that American ambitions are realized. Oh, good for you. Yeah, you might want to take care of American ambitions. Protecting all of you over there in Europe. Italy, German, UK, all of you been protected by the U.S. United States President Joe Biden has once again shown forgetfulness and could not remember the gender of his granddaughter, Naomi's baby. The White House pool reports that would make it his great-granddaughter. Earlier, 82-year-old Biden said in an interview with USA Today that his son Hunter's 31-year-old daughter, Naomi, will give birth to a baby in California on Wednesday via cesarean section. The good news is, as of today, I'm a great-grandfather, a 10-pound girl, a boy. Biden told pool reporters, who noted he appeared to try to correct himself at the end, but it was unclear which version was correct. The president also was unable to explain for sure whether his son Hunter's house burned down in the fires raging in Los Angeles. He doesn't know if the paid guy got up there with a pack of matches or not. The U.S. President apparently said they initially thought his son's home had burned to the ground, but now there are signs it has survived, White House pool reporters noted. Well, which is it, Joe? You can bet they didn't cancel his insurance. like they did James Woods. Let's see. Did I already put this one up? No, not yet. Here. This is all the way over in Eastern Europe. More footage of massive fire in Los Angeles. I played some of it for you all. Radio Liberty reports at least 2 people have died. Both victims are in Eaton Canyon, a green space northeast of the city. The fires have come close to urban development and residential buildings are burning. More than 32,000 people have already been evacuated, and the evacuation continues probably up to 50,000 now, or more than that, might be 6 digits. In addition, thousands of residents of the district are leaving their homes on their own. A state of emergency has been declared. Oh, what's this one now? In the Pacific Palisades area, one of the most expensive and prestigious in the state and the country as a whole, the fire has already destroyed more than 1,000 buildings, and at least 28,000 structures are under threat. Those numbers have gone way up. Authorities have closed dozens of schools. The Federal Aviation Administration has banned flights over the areas engulfing fire. Los Angeles officials asked residents to stock up on water. From where? Because the fire could damage the city's water supply. What water supply? Mayor Karen Bass, she was over in Chad, wasn't she? She was out of the country. Warned of severe smoke. Oh, thanks for the warning. And urged residents to stay indoors. Close the windows and doors tightly. And wear face masks. No, you get the hell out of there. Los Angeles County Fire Chief Anthony Marone admitted his department is struggling to put out the fire. We were prepared for 1 or 2 major fires, but not 4 at once. 1 or 2 major fires in an area that big. Reservists and firefighters from neighboring counties have been called in to help. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on Truth Social blamed the fires on California's Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat who had previously refused to approve a project to redistribute water sources in the state. Newsom said the redistribution would threaten biodiversity in local waterways, while Trump said it would create reserves of water to fight fires. Trump also distorted Newsom's last name, making it rhyme with scum. Financial company J.P. Morgan estimates that the damage already caused by the fire could reach $10 billion. Probably more than that. Probably more than that. All that infrastructure, vehicles, cars, houses, shops, shopping centers. Trump's idea of Greenland joining the United States is not a good idea. Who says that? Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. You're going to be out of there. I put 12 days. Hey, what? We're an hour away, less than that. Half hour away, it's going to be 12 days. Trump is going to go in. Blinken said at a joint news conference with French Foreign Minister Jean-Noel Barrot. According to Blinken, this idea will not be implemented in practice and is not worth discussing. Who the hell are you? You're nobody, buddy. You're one of Soros's buddies. We got your number. This is the New York Post newspaper, and I've been talking about it. The Monroe Doctrine. Now we're seeing people are cracking open their 8th grade history books about the Monroe Doctrine. So they got a picture of Trump up there. Trump even put a copy of the New York Post on his Truth Social. The New York Post called Trump's statements about annexing Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal the Monroe Doctrine. This is a reworking of the Monroe Doctrine, a concept the United States has been promoting since the 19th century. That means 1800s. When you hear 20th century, they're talking about the 1900s. According to the Monroe Doctrine, European countries should not interfere in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere. That's right, i.e. North and South America. The Monroe Doctrine is going to be enforced. It's going to be back in vogue, back on the menu, boys. European leaders reacted with incomprehension to Trump's latest statements on Greenland and the Panama Canal. The principle of the inviolability of borders must be observed by all countries, said German Chancellor Scholz. Well, you're going to be gone too, okay? The world is changing. Trump said that at his press conference. The entire world is changing. The U.S. expects France, to play a leading role in meeting Ukraine's military needs in the coming months, Blinken says. Ha ha, yeah, right. France's foreign minister, get a load of this, urges tougher EU action on Musk, said laws must be enforced. He wants the European Union to crack down on Elon Musk. The French foreign minister has called on the European Commission to take action against Elon Musk, Reuters reports. Either the European Commission will apply existing laws with the utmost rigor to protect our unique space, or it will not in case it should consider giving back to the member states of the European Union, in particular France, the power to do so. Oh, if you won't do it, you should let us do it, said Jean-Noel Barrot, referring to Musk. Let us recall that the billionaire from Trump's team has recently been criticizing the leaders of some European countries. They're saying he's interfering with their elections because he's speaking his mind. One person, but has not yet touched France. Well, he's going to touch you now. However, Macron has already accused Musk of interfering in the elections in Europe. You guys have been sucking our blood since the 16th Amendment got passed. It's like I said, the U.S. government had more money than it knew what to do with. It was all financed by tariffs paid from foreign countries to come play in our sandbox, okay? Individual people had no obligation to pay anything to the government. They certainly didn't have an outfit like the IRS to come around with the power to kick your door in. Now what's going on? They are paying nothing. We don't get any money in tariffs, and our entire operation is funded by the American worker in one way or another, under the threat of incarceration. The future is already here. Suspect in Tesla Cybertruck bombing at Trump International Hotel used Chat GPT to plan a crime. This is the first such case in the United States. According to police, Matthew Levelsberger used AI to figure out how much explosives you need and where to buy the fireworks. Well, that's still ongoing, and everybody's watching that. They got more of his devices to get into. They said he didn't want to hurt anybody, but he put 70 pounds of birdshot in there. Okay, birdshot's not that big of a deal unless you get hit in the eyeball with it, or an infant gets it in the face. The French foreign minister said the EU will not allow the U.S. to invade Greenland. He also stated it was time for survival of the fittest. The French are making some noise. Ain't that some? How many African nations told you get the hell out and you're leaving? Okay. If they can run your ass out, we can take care of you. But back to that tariff thing. We're not just relieving foreign countries of their obligation to pay us for, like I say, playing in our sandbox. Okay? We're paying them to play in our sandbox. We're out of our pockets. Okay? And we're also paying for all these foreign wars, foreign aid, subsidizing it. Canada's a perfect example, $200 billion a year. Why do we have to pay other countries when we used to collect from other countries? Subjugation and control. That's why. And to financially weaken this country. To get us eventually to the point where that we're almost at now. Demoralized, immoral, weak, and ripe for the picking if it wasn't for Donald Trump. The movement behind Donald Trump. I'll put it that way. The movement behind Donald Trump. Here's a good example right here. Creepy. Let's put this one up. Breaking. Zelensky says peace is now a real possibility thanks to Trump. Admits world leaders are falling in line. Damn right. He's the center of the universe. Let me cut my mic off.
It won't be long because Europe will be looking at us. And I now see that when or we just have a call, all the European leaders always ask, how was it? This shows the influence of with an American president. I tell you, from my experience, this also gives you confidence, that he can stop this war.
There's a horse's mouth, okay? You heard it from the horse's mouth. Pay attention to this clip at the end. At the end of this clip, and you tell me if this guy, what is this, MSNBC? They're talking about 100,000 Ukrainian refugees being allowed to come into the U.S., okay? I don't think he's got a job.
They wait and wait and wait some more, hoping to be among the 100,000 Ukrainian refugees the Biden administration has vowed to take in.
You got to keep moving. Are there any men in there? I think I.
They're all dead.
Oh no!
Is that what you
see that? Well, I know, but you don't have to.
Did you catch it? Boy, she laughed. The liberals ain't going to be laughing. He said they're all dead. That's why there's no men there. And then they busted out laughing. I don't even know what this video is. Let me see. Whoa, where is it? Let me try to put that back up again. I want to make sure. I don't know if this is germane or not. Let me see. What is it? Oh, this is terrible. I've said many times that liberals or the wackadoodles, okay, not your average liberals, the wackadoodles, they don't give a damn about human beings if they get hurt from the you-know-what in the shoulder from Dr. Ouchie. They don't give a damn about that. All right, they're happy with firing people. They're happy with people losing their jobs and arguing with their friends and family over taking something in their shoulder from Ouchie. But when they find out Ouchie was torturing beagles, they get all upset, right? They laugh at James Wood because his house is burning down. Well, think of the wildlife. Here you got a little doe running up the street. I'll play the video. It doesn't have much sound, but she's scorched, scared, and you think of how many thousands and thousands of animals that are suffering too. So to the liberal wackadoodles, you don't give a damn about human beings. See if you give a damn about this. She's a wild animal. She's lost her mother. She may or may not be weaned yet even. But she's not going to survive. You know, so like I said, if you don't care about humans, at least care about that a little bit. People drop the ball. And if they drop the ball on purpose, they need to be punished. They need to be punished. And it is sad. You know, it's heartbreaking. But the bottom line is, you know, there's human beings suffering too. Human beings, wildlife, infrastructure, the suffering is going to go on for a long period of time. I'm looking to see, make sure I've got, I'm going to close out because this crap with Jack Smith, this crap with Juan Merchan, Trump is going to the Supreme Court, and he is some kooky state appeals court judge denied a delay in the sentencing. And so now Trump has petitioned the Supreme Court because they want to sentence him on Friday so they can say he's a convicted felon. So I got this video of Trump before they put a gag order on him. And Juan Merchan and all these creepy accomplices that are doing this, not just to Donald Trump, but to this nation, you better pay attention to what he said at Mar-a-Lago after he got out of court, when all this crap started. People need to go to jail over this. And I said, Merchan is crossing the Rubicon, okay? The Rubicon. And, yeah. He lays it out before the gag order. He'll be naming names. So anyway, enjoy this video with Donald Trump. And I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. Hi, Devin. I know I missed a lot of you all in the broadcast, but I get to talking. And there you have it. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I'm planning on going live tomorrow. We'll see. But if you hit the notification bell, you'll know for sure. Make sure they don't cut it off on you. But anyway, enjoy this video. Thank you for spending your precious time with me. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
So here we are now. In a city that was so great just 4 or 5 years ago. But now we're there. Spend time there today, as you possibly read. Charging a former president of the United States for the first time in history on a basis that every single pundit and legal analyst said, there is no case. There's no case. They kept saying, there's no case. Virtually everyone. But it's far worse than that, because he knew there was no case. That's why last week he delayed for a month and then immediately took that back and threw this ridiculous indictment together. Came out today, everybody said, this is not really an indictment, there's nothing here. My lawyers came to me and they said, there's nothing here, they're not even saying what you did. The criminal is the district attorney because he illegally leaked massive amounts of grand jury information, for which he should be prosecuted, or at a minimum, he should resign. And Alvin Bragg's wife confirmed a report that claimed her husband has Trump nailed. Locked down her Twitter account. His chief prosecutor, who represented the Democrats and crooked Hillary Clinton and a firm run by Chuck Schumer's brother, Robert, he quit the firm in order to go to work in the DA office in order to get Trump. Can you imagine that? Hillary Clinton's lawyer, Democrat firm. Ultimately, he quit as chief prosecutor because Bragg didn't think he had a case. Think of that same guy that brought this ridiculous thing today. Yet during his investigation, this prosecutor named Mark Pomerantz wrote and published a book saying all sorts of privileged things and has been very strongly reprimanded. He was reprimanded so strongly. I've never seen anything like it. I've probably the end of it. But what he did was probably very illegal, but he was very, very strongly reprimanded. Even District Attorney Bragg was furious with him. They were having a tremendous fight in the office because of it. But hope is never lost because various prosecutors in the DA's office also quit because they thought President Trump was being treated very unfairly. How about that? Isn't that great? Oh, I love them. I'd like to meet them. I'd like to meet them. The DA's office even had a web page. Meet the team of executives who have done this to President Trump. That was the title. Isn't that nice? They immediately had to take it down. Meanwhile, overall crime in New York was up 30% last year. Much more than that the year before, with felony assaults, robberies, and burglaries all up by massive, massive numbers. Not the same place that I know, not the same place that you know. And this is where we are right now. I have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife and family whose daughter worked for Kamala Harris and now receives money from the Biden-Harris campaign, and a lot of it.